What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing in financial knowledge for free on YouTube. But the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation, okay? Also, please hit the notification button so you know when I drop new content. I recently had somebody ask me about the benefits of marriage and whether or not I thought marriage in the 21st century was a good thing. And first, full disclosure, I've been married for 5 years. I think it's a great thing. And I thought this would be a good time to kind of talk about the financial benefits of getting married, because based off of what I've noticed, if you select the right spouse for marriage, it is literally the wealth cheat code and is literally one of the best things you can do in regards to building generational wealth. So with that, everybody, let's get started. The first reason that marriage is great for your finances is that 4 hands, 2 brains, and 2 bodies are vastly better than only one. So study after study shows everybody that nuclear, dual, 2-parent households that have 2 parents that are earning money make significantly more money than individuals that are basically single and living alone. In fact, studies actually show that married couples build 35 times more wealth than single people. So if you and your wife both make $75,000 a year, that's an $150,000 a year household. And you can live essentially on $75,000 and invest your wife's $75,000 into your Roth IRA, your 401ks, your HSAs, into your brokerage accounts, and your children's college funds. For example, this is the year 2025, obviously at the time I'm recording this. And imagine if your wife's take-home pay is $75,000 every year, and you put $23,500 into your 401k, and you invest $23,500 into her 401k. Now imagine that you invest $7,000 into your Roth IRA, into your wife's Roth IRA. At this point, everybody, you have literally already invested $61,000 into your Roth IRAs and into your 401ks. And now imagine that you max out your HSAs and you put $8,550 into it because you are married and filing jointly. Everybody, you have now invested approximately $69,550 into you and your wife's Roth IRA, you and your wife's 401k, and you and your wife's HSA accounts. And you have approximately $5,450 left to invest. Now, you can take that remaining $5,450 and invest it into your son or your daughter's 529 college savings account. And let's say you purchase low-cost total stock market index funds that return 10% every year into your Roth IRA, your HSA, your 401k, and your 529s. People, if you did this, you would literally be a millionaire in 9 years. And you would have over $1.1 million with an M in the bank. 4 hands, once again, 2 brains, and 2 incomes, people, are vastly better than one individual, one single person trying to basically build wealth alone. And to my fellas that are out there, if you want to be a player your entire life, cool. Ladies, if you want to go on girls trips and wild out and be wild your entire life, cool. But from a financial perspective, it comes with generational consequences. The first way, everybody, that marriage is great for your finances is that 2 incomes are always better than one. And it gives you the option to live on one income and completely invest the other. Next. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gets you out of the bars, out of the clubs, and it gets you out of tricking and wasting money on low-value people. Ladies, full disclosure, this section is going to kind of be more so for my fellas. When you're a single dude, right, with a lot of money, and you take care of your body, and you have a fun personality, juggling is always an option. Bar hopping, clubbing, partying, and going on expensive guys trips, and whining and dining women, obviously is fun. But you know what? Those bills, they add up. And because they add up, you have essentially wasted an entire decade of your life tricking when you could have basically met one person, made try to work with her, and then kept it moving. Okay, now let's say you're the kind of guy where your game is quote unquote so tight that you have multiple girls cooking your dinner, washing your clothes, and essentially paying for your lifestyle because you're a player, right? The problem I found with that mindset is this, everybody. At the end of the day, there's a time component, everybody, to running multiple women. Let's start at the most point of productivity. If you were a dude and you're running basically 3 or 4 girls at the same time your entire adult life, literally in that same, let's say 5 to 10 year time period, you could have basically started a business or you could have gotten a master's degree in grad school for the same amount of energy it takes to run 3 women. Don't ask me how I know. In other words, 2 years of running 3 or 4 women at the same time literally is the same amount of time, takes the same amount of energy as starting a business that could have made you possibly millions of dollars. As a mechanical engineer, I worked 60 hours a week at a mechanical engineering firm, and I went to grad school at night to get my MBA. I was always amazed, everybody, at the guys my age that were happily married, both in corporate America and in grad school, because they were almost always wealthier and more successful and had bigger houses than those of us that were still going to happy hours, bar hopping, and clubbing. And the numbers, everybody, point to this as well, because according to a 2019 study that was done by Fidelity and the book, The Millionaires Next Door, 89%, roughly 90% of America's millionaires are married, and they've only been married to one woman. And they are in long-term, committed, monogamous relationships. Next, the next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it allows you to legally lower your taxes significantly. Another very, very cool thing about getting married, everybody, is that you and your wife can file your taxes jointly. And by filing your taxes jointly, you pay significantly less in taxes. Legally, I might add. So, depending on the state that you live in, as well as your socioeconomic status and your income, you could potentially save millions of dollars over the course of your lifetime in taxes by being married. Secondly, if you are a single income earning household and your wife or your husband is a stay-at-home parent, if you jointly file your taxes, it can legally lower your taxes exponentially. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it allows you to legally lower your taxes significantly. Next, the next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gives you Social Security benefits. Full disclosure, if you are under the age of 55 and you are listening to this podcast, you most likely will not be getting Social Security. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. That's a program that is dying. When Social Security was started, everybody, in 1940, around 160 Americans invested into it for every one American that received Social Security. Today, in 2025, at the time I'm recording this, the number has changed drastically as only 2 Americans are investing into every one American to get Social Security. It's not a political statement, everybody, but Social Security literally is a dying government program that is going to run out of money very soon. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the lucky souls who are most likely still going to be getting Social Security. If you are married to an individual that's receiving Social Security, you will receive their spousal benefits when you both retire. Additionally, if your husband or your wife dies, you will still be receiving their spousal benefits until you die. This is literally a free paycheck for the rest of your life in retirement if you are married to somebody who contributed into Social Security. Please hit that notification button so you know when I drop new content. Please hit that like button, please comment, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you free content, okay? Also, please check out my scholarship book. I obtained over $300,000 to go to grad school for free. It's probably gonna pop up about right here. And I essentially tell you all the ways and all the different things that I did to get my engineering degree for free. Next, the next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gives you financial flexibility. And studies show that married people get paid more than single people, and they get promoted faster. You ever notice that you don't see any presidential candidates that are bachelors? You ever notice that? Or you very rarely see like C-suite static executives that don't have wives, husbands, or families. Ladies, studies show that married women that do the exact same job as single men make more money than single men. And study after study shows that married men doing the exact same job as single men always make more money. Humans, for better or for worse, whether it is fair or not, they typically associate married people as being more dependable, more reliable, and more stable. And as a result, employers, typically speaking, are willing to pay them more. It ain't fair, but it's the truth. And I live in the real world. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Another tremendous benefit of getting married is the financial flexibility that it gives you. So let's say you're married, right? And your wife is working for a boss that she absolutely hates. If you have budgeted your money correctly, your wife can literally quit her job and basically find a better job where she's actually respected and appreciated. Or let's assume you both are working and it's a 2-income household and one of you gets fired. By it being a 2-income household, it gives you flexibility that is not necessarily the case if only one spouse is working. So another way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gives you more financial flexibility than being a single income household or basically being a single person, period. Next, the next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gives you a tax exemptions for your inheritance. This is one of those things that makes you realize how much we are being played as a community when I see all these manosphere and feminism channels telling everybody to stay single and to die alone. Because the tax exemptions and the tax laws are literally written for people that are married. For example, imagine if one of your relatives dies and it leaves you a $500,000 inheritance, basically a $500,000 inheritance, right? If you're single and you're not protected by a trust, the IRS automatically takes 40% and you lose $200,000, you only inherit $300,000. So because you're single, instead of getting $500,000, you're only getting $300,000. However, if you're married, you literally get unlimited deductions for the money and the property that you inherit. So being married also means you can easily put that inheritance in an irrevocable trust, give it to your kids, and never pay one dime of taxes on it. Check out the Rockefeller Trust podcast that I talked about, because I talked about a little bit of that in that podcast, okay? Everyone, this is literally a financial game changer for communities of color, because it allows you to legally pass the wealth that you spent 50 years of your hardworking life building, and you can give that wealth to your kids and your grandkids, and they can avoid the probate and legally avoid paying 1 penny in taxes. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it more easily allows you to get tax exemptions, and it more easily allows you to basically transfer your wealth from one generation to the next. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it assists your end of life care. This is one of the ones that literally breaks my heart, because I see so many people that don't realize this, and that boyfriend, that girlfriend they've been living with for 20 years, when they get sick and they're about to die, they don't realize until literally they're on death's door that if you ain't married to the person, there's certain benefits you do not get in the hospital. Bachelors have trouble putting next of kin in case of emergency, but married couples can easily keep each other next of kin during a legal or medical emergency. This makes end-of-life decisions vastly easier. Fellas, if you are married and you die, your wife can easily file a case against authority for the wrongful death of yourself. It is much harder, however, fellas, if your girlfriend does this. So if a doctor kills you, it's much harder for your girlfriend to press charges versus your wife. Also, fellas, if you are married and you die, your wife can make all the legal and medical decisions on your behalf. Your girlfriend cannot. Secondly, when your husband or your wife leaves their retirement account in the IRA to their non-spouse, they are most certainly going to get hit with lots of penalties, lots of restrictions, and lots of taxes. But your girlfriend will have to pay more additionally, once again, in taxes. But if you are married, you can leave your IRA or your brokerage accounts to your wife, and she can roll your accounts into her accounts at her own convenience. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it simplifies your retirement strategy, and it greatly enhances your end-of-life care. The next way that marriage is great for your finances is that it gives you significantly better options for your health insurance. For married couples, it allows us to simply compare what our spouse's health insurance is and compare it to what our health insurance is. And you know what? If your health insurance is not nearly as good as your wife's health insurance, you can basically stop using yours and go into hers. If you're a single person, it's not like that. And if you work for a trashy company that has trash health insurance, guess what? You're stuck there. The last way that marriage is great for your finances is that the emotional benefits that it provides you go far beyond money, and no one wants to die miserable or alone with a dog. I'm just keeping it real. All the other points that I made on this podcast, this is the only one that focuses on non-financial, non-monetary type benefits. Because one thing that I absolutely despise about the manosphere and about feminist channels and all this red pill, purple pill, green pill, rainbow pill garbage that's out here is that, and all this gender war stuff that's out there, is that it pushes this toxic narrative that it's cool to buy a dog and die alone. Or that it's cool to retire abroad and basically pay people for relations and die alone. In reality, nothing is sadder than watching a 60-year-old man who used to be a player dying in a hospital with a bunch of nurses who he has to pay to clean him up and wipe him, and essentially have a bunch of baby mamas and kids that hate him who never come to visit him. Nothing is sadder than seeing a woman that was a rebel in her 20s. She did any and everything and any and everybody, and she spends the next 50 years of her life miserable and alone, basically begging her son or her daughter or her grandkids to come visit her because she has no friends and everybody who knows her has nothing good to say about her. By every report that I have ever seen, married men and married women, they live longer than single people. But not only do they live longer, they live happier lives. And some of the things that's kind of going on in my current generation with us millennials and Gen Zers is that a lot of millennials and Gen Zers are literally dropping dead because they are lonely. And this is also, once again, coming from a guy who got married in his mid-30s. Coming home to one sexy, beautiful woman that loves me and trying to build a life with her, it gives you a peace of mind that I never had when I was a single guy in Philly, Chicago, or Miami. Whereas when you are a single man or a single woman, you don't have anyone when you need emotional or mental support. You don't have anyone when you need financial support, and you don't have anyone when you need physical support. The last way, everybody, that marriage is good for your finances, and in my opinion is the ultimate wealth cheat code, is that it allows you to build a life with a person and to grow old and die with someone that loves you. This channel, everybody, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. And it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. Please check out my podcast on irrevocable trust and the Rockefeller Method 101. It's going to pop up about right here. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point, okay? The link is going to be below. So I'm not giving financial advice on this channel, everybody. You must make responsible decisions based on the thorough independent research that you do for yourself, okay? Thanks for listening. And please follow me. Check me out on my website, www.therealfinancipation.com. Check me out on Instagram, @thereal_financipation. My Spotify is Financipation. My TikTok page is Financipation. Additionally, check out my Facebook page, Financipation. And check out my financial blog, Financipation. Please check out some of my digital e-products below. Some of them are gonna pop up right here, such as my scholarship book. And please hit the notification button below. Also, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you, Kill Solutions, for all of these dope graphics. And it's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace.